These tiny robo eyes are everywhere right now. But here's the thing, most of them rely on hidden firmware or pre-built GIFs. No real control, no onboard animation. So I thought, why not build my own? Something that actually feels alive and works across different controllers and displays, all with minimal changes. Namaste and welcome back to Avinashee Tech. Now, if you don't know, this concept gained popularity on YouTube from the Sai Mochi, which is a small companion device that reacts to motion and shows different facial expressions. Because of that, a lot of DIY versions popped up, and most of them used an ESP32 C3 Mini with some black box firmware from a Vietnamese website to closely copy the original. And some people took a totally different approach using Arduino based graphics libraries like Adafruit GFX or U8G2 to make simple robot like eyes with motion. It works, but as usual, I had to do things a bit differently and I used LVGL to create my version of Robot Eyes. LVGL is an open source graphics library that is platform independent, and instead of using GIFs with it, I opted using animations functionality. If you are new here, the full setup, LVGL basics, OLED driver, everything I've already covered in my display series, so definitely check that out. For now, let's quickly understand how these animations work. First, think of each eye as a simple object on the screen. Then inside that, we create another smaller object, the pupil, with eyes as parent object. So in total, we are controlling 4 objects: left eye, left pupil, right eye, right pupil. Now let's talk about animations. Blinking is the simplest one. All we do is change the height of the eye from fully open to fully closed and back. If we do this fast, it looks like a blink. For eye movement left and right, we move both the eyes in the X direction. Similarly, for up-down movement, we move both the eyes in the Y direction. That's it. Now for pupil movement, we don't move the eyes, only the pupils inside. So to move left and right, we move the pupils in X direction. For the motion in up-down direction, nothing much, just change in the Y direction. Now comes a slightly interesting one. To move the pupil in any direction, we use simple math, where r is the radius or distance of the pupil from the center to the endpoint, and theta is the angle between that r and the horizontal x direction. So x coordinate equals r cos theta and y coordinate equals r sin theta. So if we change theta, the direction changes, and if we change r, the distance changes. So for example, to move the pupil in right corner, say, the angle is constant, but the radius r is changing. And if we keep r as fixed and change theta from 0 to 360 or minus 180 to 180 degrees, the pupil moves in a clockwise circular path. To move anti-clockwise, we reverse the angle range, that is 180 to minus 180 degrees this time. Next is sleeping animation. It's similar to blinking, but this time the eyes never fully opens to the maximum height. Instead, it is much lower, so that it gives a sleep kind of feel. And I also added a small snoring text with a fade in and fade out effect. Now some combined animations like leaning to the right. Both eyes move slightly to the right in the x direction. Left eye becomes smaller, right eye becomes bigger, and pupils adjust accordingly. This animation runs only once, no looping. Same idea for emotions, like for anger, both the eyes become narrower after we reduce their heights, and pupils, they move at an angle like we discussed a bit before. For sad, the eyes shrink a bit, not fully open, but not narrower like anger either. And pupils move downward in a straight path. And yeah, you can even make a single eye version, like a cyclops. Make it blink, sleep, get angry, and stuffs like that. Not bad, right? Let's now look at the complete scene running live on our ESP32 with the SSD1306 OLED display. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel. This is Avinashee Tech signing off.